Welcome to, I almost said jump into Monday. Welcome to afternoon tea. It is November 16th, which is crazy. We are just about to get into Thanksgiving break. A lot of stuff's been going on since the last time we were together, but I'm excited to share. This is all about a chance for you guys to hear what's going on, but to ask questions and provide feedback. So please, please, please let me know questions, comments, shout outs, anything that you've got as we move through this. We have our same standing agenda for every time that we're together, just what's happening here, how to get involved and stay connected, and then just an opportunity to have any questions or conversations either with me or amongst each other. I really got some good feedback from some families that watched the presentation on Zoom last month, that they enjoyed hearing about the leader in me habits paired with what's happening at school. So we're going to stick with that format. This is a photo of some of our students in their buddy classrooms. And I think this is a great example of seeking first to understand and then to be understood. Typically, our littles and our bigs don't hang out as much together because they have different recesses and different lunch breaks. So this really is a chance for our younger students to learn from our older leaders about the habits, about the way things work here at school. And it's so fun to see how excited both the littles and the bigs are to be together. Everyone's got a buddy class. Ask your child about his or her buddy classroom, but it's such a great, great way to practice this habit. And this was them right before, I think it was the Friday before Halloween, and they were doing some arts and crafts together. We also my most practiced habit number 6, synergize. We always wear red on Fridays, but a couple Fridays ago, we honored at our on a Red Friday in one of our leadership assemblies, we honored a school board member, Timothy Shaw, who after 20 plus years is not returning as a school board member. He has long been a favorite to us here at San Miguel. And so we brought him in for a leadership assembly and gave him a shirt and that plaque that you see in the middle picture. But then it was really fun because we had him kind of hunkered down in the auditorium, chatting with our custodian, Roland, who you see there. And then we opened the auditorium door and the entire school was out in the hallways, like cheering and with music and signs and cards and saying thank you. And when it was over, when he did his whole walk of fame, he goes, I think almost every student was wearing something red. And I was like, yep, that's what we do here on Fridays. So it was really a great way to show the students about leadership on a level outside of San Miguel, but also give thanks and gratitude to someone who's been so good to us over the years. Another way we practice habit number 6, synergize, is we, about our super fun spirit days. We've got a flyer that one of our students made on the right, and I know it's supposed to be backwards. That's part of it. It was reverse day. When she first showed it to me, I was like, Emily, you spelled this wrong. And she goes, Mrs. Jones, it's reverse day. I was like, oh. So all of our students are finding their voice by making the flyers that we post and that we have around campus. And then you see we had some silly 5th and 6th graders showing us their reverse day spirit, but this is such a fun way for us to synergize. And then we had character day, which was also on Halloween. And I will say to this group that was very intentional. We have a large group of students that don't celebrate Halloween. And this was the first year in many, many years that Lemon Grove allowed students to wear their costumes to school. But we really wanted to be mindful of people are coming to school with different entry points on that day. So we made it a spirit day as well, so that students that didn't celebrate Halloween could come dressed up as their favorite character in celebration of that spirit day, or they could come in their Halloween costume. And it was really lovely that the students that don't celebrate Halloween, the majority of them came up to me on that day and said, thank you for including me. So it was really like a beautiful way. And our students came up with that. one of the students on the screen actually came up with that. She's, but I don't celebrate Halloween. So what can we do for all those kids? So like, what a cool way for them to find their voice, which is what we're all about here. And then another way that they found their voice is that the posters we had, you saw a digital poster that one of our students made. And then this is 2 examples of leaders that made a poster by hand. This really, really beautiful artwork. So we're all about students finding their voice, whatever that looks like for them. We're big on sharpening the saw here too. And one of the ways that we do it is our student-led clubs. We've had some new ones recently. We have slime club, which I'm like not a fan of because I have a weird texture thing. But like, oh my gosh, the kids love it. And they just make slime every week and it's super fun for them. And it's really interesting to learn about cloud slime and sparkle slime, and but they do what they want. And then we have a Lego club that just started too. That's one of our 3rd grade leaders in the middle with a Lego creation that he made. Up and coming clubs, we've got basketball club. We have a makers club, which is kids that'll be making things with recycled materials, which is such a neat idea from this young lady, one of our 6th grade leaders. We'll have a yearbook club coming up, which is new to us. We'll finally have a yearbook again, and students are going to use this online software that we purchased to make the yearbook. There's sports club coming up. There's a history club coming up, which I'm still going to be learning about, but such a fun way for kids to find their voice and sharpen the saw together. I think at our last count, we have about 283 students enrolled in clubs, which is more than half of our school population. So super, super fun. Another way we sharpened the saw recently is kids were so excited about the book fair. We made, I don't know the exact number offhand, but thousands of dollars came back to the school. And that either comes to individual teachers if they had a book list, a wish list, or it comes back to me. And then we decide as a teacher staff group how we use that money. And there's tons of things that we can use it for that Scholastic provides us. But kids were so excited about the book fair. And they're like, this is such a cool way to get together and look at books. And I'm like, awesome, wonderful. So fun way to sharpen the saw recently. As you guys know, we talk about this a lot. Our school-wide WIG is that our students will successfully pass 90% of the lessons that they attempt on iReady. And I'm sure that all of your children talk to you about iReady for a variety of reasons. But it's been really fun to see that about a month ago, we implemented this big thermometer for every classroom. And it's all about the lessons that you pass. And at every increment of 200, you get different things. You get a play party, which is extra recess. You get a PC party, which is free time on the computer. You get a popsicle party, which you see on the right here. Popcorn party. Pizza party is the big one. If we hit 1,000, we just had 4 classes last week hit 1,000, which we thought would happen more like February or March. So it's really kids, there's just so much momentum happening about iReady. And this is such an important thing because iReady, while students are on their individual path towards learning, it's getting them closer to their grade level standards, which is what we want for all of our kids, is that academic success. So even though like on the left, the kiddos on the computer, like it looks like fun and they're games and you earn things, it's really about getting them access and mastery to those grade level standards, which is why we're all here. So really, really fun watching them put first things first. And then this was such a neat thing. This is year 2 of us doing a student lighthouse election. But what we do is we have part of being a leader in me school is having a lighthouse group. And you have a lighthouse group, which is supposed to be the leaders of the school, if you will. And it's a student group. And people say, oh, it's like student council or like ASB. But really what they do is very unique in terms of leading school initiatives and school practices. And so we had we were practicing habit number 1 and had a lighthouse election where Literally every single student in every single grade voted, whether it was on paper or on the computer. We had a voting room set up. You'll see students on the right. Oh, Susan Jacobs actually right in the back of that line right there. They went in, they had their own computer. We had those privacy boards set up. They got an I voted sticker like you see on Eric's forehead right there. But or in our little grades, they did paper ballots, which we talked a much bigger lesson about being proactive, making choices as a leader for those that are leading you as well. It really turned into some beautiful conversations with kids about leadership again, which was great. And we nominated our lighthouse officers. It was really fun. So we've got president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, kind of the standard things, but then we also have fire marshal, and we have a spirit, I think she's a spirit commissioner. And each of those people has very specific roles, and they also have people that report to them. So it's really meant to be an opportunity in practicing leadership for later in life. And all the kids had so much fun this day. So too bad it rained, but it was still really fun. All right. So any questions about what's been going on at school? Anything that your kids are talking to you about, or any questions that you had about things that you're hearing from us, or anything that you saw in any of the pictures? No? Okay. Lots of good stuff. And again, always want to make sure that you know how to get a hold of us. If you're here, obviously you do, but just making sure that you're aware that we've got all these different ways to access our information. We've kind of been slacking a little bit on social media, but we've got some renewed energy there to make sure everyone's connected with us. And then in terms of what's coming up, on Friday, as in this Friday, we are having my favorite spirit day of the whole entire year. We do it twice a year, and it's wear, it's supposed to say wear, not read, wear more red than Mrs. Jones. It is, people have their new San Miguel shirts if they got one, or by this time they've kind of gotten some more swag. I'm just going to go ahead and change that to say wear, because it's really bothering my OCD right now. Wear more red than Mrs. Jones. Kids go all out. They spray paint their hair, they paint their nails, socks, shoes. Kids want to show me their underwear, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see your underwear. But it's really, really fun. It's a great way to synergize as a school community. And if they wear more red than me, they get a free homework pass, which is kind of fun too. But it is literally, if you have a chance to look after I post photos this weekend, it is like an ocean of red. It's wild. It's so much fun. And it's a great way to synergize as a school community. So wear more red than Mrs. Jones on Friday. And then we have Thanksgiving break next week. So we are closed Monday through Friday, resuming on the 28th. That week we have another spirit day, which was one of our student lighthouse voted spirit days. It's called Blast from the Past, which is about wearing clothes that from previous generations. And I felt really old, and they were talking about what to wear. I'm like, it was not that long ago that I was wearing that exact thing that now you're making fun of in your spirit day. But anyways, blast from the past. So wear things from a previous decade or generation. And then school site council is on the 6th. Brian and Susan, I will see you guys there. We will be approving our site plan for student achievement, which has been a lot of work that we've been doing here at the school that I'm excited to share. And then we've got a school board meeting on the 13th, and then back here for afternoon tea on the 14th of December. So it's a really busy 3 weeks between Thanksgiving break and winter break. There's a lot that happens in the classroom here on campus. So we try and keep you as informed as possible, but those 3 weeks are busy and fun. And that's it. That's all I've got to share. Now is your opportunity to, like I said, ask questions or have a conversation about anything, or just say thank you and have a good night. It's totally up to you guys.